It was early Monday morning, September 15th, 2025. A quiet, misty dawn settled over the campus of Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. Dew on grass, the last whispers of night still lingering. No warning, no alarm. Then, just after 7 a.m., reports came in a body hanging from a tree near the pickleball court's central campus. Demartravion Trey Reed, a 21-year-old student from Grenada, was identified as the person found. The campus erupted into shock. Classes were canceled. Events marking the university's centennial were abruptly suspended. Students and faculty awoke to tragedy. A black student, beloved by many, found dead in a setting that immediately invoked a history of racial violence in Mississippi. Authorities rushed to contain the scene. University police, Bolivar County coroner officials, and members of the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation arrived. Within that early, raw moment, statements were made. There was no evidence of foul play, no visible signs of injury, broken limbs, contusions, fractures, nothing consistent with assault. But public belief diverged sharply from those initial official statements. Rumors spread fast on social media. Broken bones, bruised body, a hanging that didn't look like a suicide. Questions: why a tree in the middle of campus? Why near the pickleball courts? The imagery, a black young man hanging from a tree, evoked painful echoes of lynching and racial terror in Mississippi. For many, this was too close to history. Trey's family refused to accept the simple explanations. They described him as quiet, respectful, a student with dreams, loved by those around him. He was just beginning attending Delta State University and maintaining ties to home in Grenada. His path forward cut short. Community grief was immediate. Prayer vigil was held. Students gathered. Campus life paused. But grief alone did not satisfy the many unanswered questions. So many holes in the story, so many assumptions, and yet no definitive answers. Officials confirmed it. Delta State's Director of Public Safety, Chief Michael Peeler, spoke early to press, saying his department had found no signs of a struggle and no evidence of a threat to other students or faculty. Bolivar County Coroner Randolph Rudy Seals Jr. released preliminary findings. No lacerations, no contusions, no compound fractures, no broken bones of any kind. For now, the cause of death remained undetermined. Autopsy results were pending. Meanwhile, the family, aided by civil rights attorney Ben Crump, called for transparency, demanding that all evidence be made available. They refused to let the story settle into comfortable explanations. They wanted truth, and they pressed. Was this really suicide, or something darker? On social media, outrage and speculation grew. A common refrain: black people don't lynch themselves. Many questioned the speed with which no foul play was floated. Was the investigation thorough? Were key details being overlooked? Mississippi is a state haunted by its history. Cleveland, where Trey's body was found hanging, lies just miles from sites tied to historical racial violence. Every time a body is found in trees, every time state authorities say there's no assault, public memory shifts in, reminding of past injustice. In this case, some family members alleged Trey's body had broken limbs. These claims were strongly disputed by the coroner. No broken arms, no broken legs. The coroner insisted there was no evidence of physical assault. But in a climate where institutional trust is frayed, such declarations ring hollow to many. State and campus officials joined forces in public statements. The university president, Dan Ennis, expressed sorrow. He promised cooperation. He spoke to the family. But many perceived a slow drip of information, an official narrative shaped more by caution than clarity. They described Trey Reed in hushed terms, full of small ambitions. He planned to be a truck driver. He liked life in Grenada. He attended church. He had only been on campus for about a month. The body of this young man, so recently uplifted by possibility, now becomes a case tangled in rumors. Students spoke of feeling unsafe, especially black students. The event triggered deep emotions. Some questioned whether their own voices would matter in a system they felt often overlooked them. Others called for systemic change, campus safety, mental health, racial equity, institutional accountability. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, known for taking on emotionally fraught, high-visibility cases, was retained by Trey's family. The demand was for a transparent, independent investigation. No more silence. No more media-based narratives. Let the facts speak. What time did Trey die? Why him, and why that location, a tree near pickleball courts? Could someone have lured him, or was he alone? If it were suicide, why not a private place? Why such a public, visible spot? Rumors of broken bones or trauma? Are they baseless or being withheld? Why did officials so quickly state no signs of foul play? Was it premature or based on careful medical examination? The balance between protecting reputations, campus safety, and seeking truth is delicate. And every delay, every vague statement, fuels suspicion. What role will external agencies play? The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, Bolivar County Sheriff's Office, Cleveland Police, the Coroner's Office are all involved. Bryce Voices, social media, attorney statements, community activism are demanding more. To many, Trey's death already feels like a symbol more than a single tragedy. A symbol of racial tension, of mistrust, of grief unchecked. The campus community is in mourning. Counseling services opened, vigils held. But mourning without clarity feels like an injustice. Mississippi lawmakers and civil rights groups are watching. Some are calling for federal oversight. Some demand the FBI get involved. Why? Because when accusations and rumors mix with official silence, many feel justice depends on outside eyes. Meanwhile, Trey's family presses on quietly, firmly, not asking for headlines or political posturing, but for facts, for truth, for dignity in how a loved one's life is remembered. They've said, enough is enough. This case forces a question we all must face. When tragedy strikes, whose version becomes accepted? How do communities ensure truth over speculation? More than that, how do institutions respond with honesty before narratives settle in public imagination? There's also a lesson about the role of social media. The start, reports and rumors, sometimes conflicting. Officials saying no foul play versus family voices demanding more. In today's world, silence or delay often breeds suspicion faster than concrete proof does. And then the weight of history. In places with histories of racial terror, a death like this doesn't float free from context. Even the ground, the tree, the campus, Mississippi is soaked in memory. For many, Trey's death is entwined with those memories. That complicates every statement, every headline, every official claim. As of now, Demartravion Trey Reed's death remains officially undetermined. The coroner's report, autopsy findings are pending. The family awaits more truth. The community questions linger. Grief remains raw. Suspicion remains alive. What really happened that morning at Delta State University? Was it suicide, or could something darker be hidden? Were key details missed, ignored, or suppressed? Will findings be shared fully, or will this story fade into another unresolved case? One thing seems certain. The voices of Trey's family, classmates, and community will not stop asking. Because justice is more than a verdict. More than a report, it's the restoration of dignity, transparency, and truth. To you watching, keep asking. Keep watching. Demand clarity. Because sometimes, in silence and unanswered questions, we allow injustice to grow unseen.